bigot, you can go.
Oh, what makes me a bigot, ma'am? Or sir? I'm not sure. I didn't misgender you, did I?
Oh, please, go fuck yourself.
Oh, that's not very ladylike.
Oh, now you're fucking misgendering me.
The life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ is for everyone, right? To include the pride flag, it's like as if Christ's sacrifice is insufficient for gay and trans people, which is completely false. And in fact, I find that to be extremely homophobic because gay and trans people are human beings like everyone else, right?
How can they feel safe? We have trustees voting in students. It's a clause.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Aurora, Ontario. And folks, I'm at the York Catholic District School Board. And the question arises tonight, will they or won't they being the trustees of the Catholic School Board, and the issue du jour is whether or not they will raise the pride flag for the entire month of June. They've been under tremendous pressure by advocates for the LGBT, etc. community. They feel that not having the pride flag raised on school property in June is a safety issue, that the school by default is an unsafe space. Do you believe that, folks? Do you understand how that could possibly be a thing? The fact that a multicolored piece of fabric hanging from a flagpole makes or does not make a school a safe place. It's staggering. There were other questions too, isn't there? Why is it that we only set aside a single day in November to honor our veterans and those who made the ultimate sacrifice, yet when it comes to the rainbow unicorn community, it's an entire month? And if you don't agree with it, you are a homophobe, a transphobe, a bigot, etc. Incredible. Another thing I'd like to ponder is this. Why is it those with the radical transgender community who are always saying the mantra, love trumps hate, suddenly self-identify as violent thugs if you disagree with them on any issue? And why is it, of course, the police often turn a blind eye to such thuggery? Speaking of the police, folks, big police presence. There are unmarked police cars everywhere. And the mainstream media is out here. In fact, you're not going to believe this. I'm going to throw to a clip of something we saw just 5 minutes ago. Yeah, so we got the eye in the sky. I wonder if we're going to have a copper in the chopper, too. And, you know, that's another egregious thing I think about this story, folks. There's no real crime occurring in York Region right now. You know, murder, kidnapping, sexual assault, car theft. That there would be such a disproportionate amount of York Regional police officers on hand to monitor what? Insensitive questions, unkind statements. This really is the thought police in action. Sir, you know, we tried to back the blue, of course, so I'm not trying to give you any aggro, but this seems to be such a disproportionate amount of police resources for a school board meeting. What brings you guys out here?
Unfortunately, this time I'm not able to provide any on-air interviews or anything. Any requests through the media can be handled through our duty inspector office, and I can provide you that information.
Okay.
As always,
are they here or?
No, I can give you a contact number for somebody if you'd like to. If you'd like a media piece from York Regional Police, I can do that. But
Sure.
That's not my function today.
I understand. I mean, it just like I live in York Region myself. I hear about carjacking, kidnapping, murder, or sexual assault, and you know, I don't know, a police presence to prevent parents from asking, I don't know, insensitive questions. It seems such an overreach to me and a waste of your resources.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not here to comment on behalf of York Regional Police. As always, we're committed to ensuring public safety, and that's our role here, is just to ensure public safety.
I think I see an infamous Catholic school teacher, not with the York region, but with Toronto. That would be Mr. De Bono. We've tried to reach out to him. He's someone that believes that Jesus was trans. He's someone that despises Catholic doctrine, even though he gets paid by a publicly funded Catholic school board. Let's try to get him on record and explain why he's up here in York Region. Hey, Mr. De Bono, what brings you up to the York Catholic Region District School Board. David Menzies. I tried to reach out to you, but you blocked me. Now, you claim that Jesus Christ was a transgender racial person. I think black or brown. Is that correct? You're no longer at the school. Now, have you been transferred or have you been fired? No, you can't articulate your points, Mr. DeMono. I thought you were a teacher. No. Are you teaching at another school? Sir, why is someone who is employed with a Catholic school board not beholden to Catholic values? Well, this is incredible, folks. This is actually a school teacher with the Toronto Catholic School Board. He's no longer at his school. We don't know if he's been transferred to another school, or maybe it's like Busty Lemieux. He's being paid full salary and benefits to stay at home. Now, we have reached out to Mr. DeMono in the past, but he's got a funny communication strategy.
Better to do?
Pardon me?
You have nothing better to do?
Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm David Menzies with Rebel News.
Okay, well, you can go.
Okay. Did you say I can go?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should.
I'm having difficult.
Everyone here extremely uncomfortable.
Oh, is
you
that
should
right?
leave.
I'm having trouble hearing you with your face diaper on, actually.
Oh my God!
So why do you want me to go? Is this not a publicly funded school board?
Teacher who's literally just making the school board safer for kids.
Who's that?
This teacher over there.
Oh, you speak for Mr. DeBono. He's unable to himself. I thought he was an educated man.
Yeah, because y'all are idiots.
Pardon me?
So that's all I'm gonna say. You're just a bigot. You can go.
Oh, what makes me a bigot, ma'am? Or sir? I'm not sure. I didn't misgender you, did I?
Oh, please go fuck yourself.
Oh, that's not very ladylike.
Oh, now you're fucking misgendering me. Ladylike.
Oh, well, what are you exactly?
None of your fucking business. What are you?
But you said I misgendered you. If I don't know what you are, how can I not misgender you? Before I was so rudely interrupted, Mr. DeBono is a teacher employed at another Catholic school board, but he comes up here, I understand, to instigate things, which is allegedly what he did at the April meeting. As I said, we've tried to reach out to him on Twitter, but he blocks us. I guess we should be fortunate because people who say insensitive things to him get served with a legal notice too. And now I'm trying to get his side of the story. And he's just chuckling away, but he's not saying much. It's like interviewing a vending machine when your Coke doesn't come out when you put the tuna in. Anyways, well, I think we've tried as hard as possible to get Mr. DeBono on record, but for whatever reason, the cat has got his tongue. And it'll be interesting to see if he does what he did at the other school board meeting here, folks, when he instigated parents who were standing up for Catholic values. Stay tuned. Why is this argument being framed, sir, that if these flags don't go up at York Catholic schools, those schools will be an unsafe space? I just don't understand that.
No, that's not true at all. It's not about equality. It's something about them wanting to go over and take over sort of everything.
Well, folks, you never know who you're going to bump into at a Catholic school board meeting. I'm with Joe Volpe, the former federal Liberal member of Parliament. And Mr. Volpe, I guess the obvious question is, what brings you to this school board meeting today, sir?
I've been following it for months. So this is following up on an article I wrote on tonight's meeting today.
Okay.
So I want to see how they're going to conduct themselves, knowing that everybody else is watching.
How about this, Mr. Volpe? As a private citizen, where do you stand on raising the pride flag on Catholic school properties?
Well, I'm a great Canadian, I think, because I spent 24 years in Ottawa. There's only one flag in the country. It's a unifying flag. It's an inclusive flag. It's called, let me see, the Maple Leaf Forever. It's red, white, and red. That's the one that goes everywhere. That tells everybody that these things exist by virtue of the authority of the Constitution. So why would you fly something that that defies the Constitution.
You know, I think it's disgraceful, not just the school board, but so many school boards in Ontario saying, no, we're not interested in what the parents have to say. We know what's right for your children. And yet these are publicly funded school boards, whether they're Catholic or not. But Mary, can you give me a quick Reader's Digest synopsis of what you were going to say today?
Basically, is that the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ is for everyone, right? To include the pride flag, it's like as if Christ's sacrifice is insufficient for gay and trans people, which is completely false. And in fact, I find that to be extremely homophobic, because gay and trans people are human beings like everyone else, right? And Christ's sacrifice applies to them just as it does with everyone else, right? So that's where I feel that we should focus more on the presence of Christ, the image of Christ, and the love that he shares with all of us, and how we need to share that with each other as well. And I think that's perfectly relevant in a Catholic school system.
This is what guides me. It is why I became a Catholic school trustee, to ensure that the York Catholic District School Board remains Catholic. It is what parents send their children to York Catholic expect. So for me, tonight's process is simple. I will just do my job. All those opposed?
Let's go! Yes! The cross is a symbol for all people. Always remember that. For all people. You can't even fly a piece of cloth. How can students feel safe? How you can How can they feel safe? We had trustees voting in students. It's a cloth. That's what the trustees have even said. It's a cloth.
Well, there you have it, folks. After impassioned arguments on both sides by the trustees here at the York Catholic District School Board, the motion to fly the flag went down to defeat by a vote of 6-4. Now, for those who wanted the flag to be flown, they made arguments along the lines of, if the flag is not flown, then those people who feel emboldened to bully the LGBTQ community will do so to an even greater extent. I'm not sure how you can prove that. However, others were saying there are already symbols of inclusivity here at the York Catholic District School Board. For example, the cross and the Canadian flag. And right now, people are exiting the boardroom. As you can imagine, there's been a few sore losers on the Rainbow Spirit community side. Others, however, are, they're basically saying hallelujah that there was no coercion by those who want that flag to be flown. So hopefully we can find some people to weigh in on this matter and give their assessment regarding what went down during this school board meeting here tonight. Well, this is something, folks. I think this is a safe space. There's a lot of people behind this door, part of the Rainbow community, and they're actually weeping. I guess I never saw that movie, the Tom Hanks movie, A League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball, but I guess apparently there is crying at school board meetings when things don't go your way regarding a certain flag.
The students made it clear that it would be a clear symbol that they are seen, respected, accepted, and again, that is so important to their well-being, to their learning. This fight will not end this evening. This fight to have you seen through symbols and more will continue.
Mr. De Bono, what evidence do you have to suggest that Jesus was transgender? You asked him that question. Well, there you have it. Mr. De Bono only wants to speak to the mainstream media, especially the CBC, and we ask him the tough questions like, what evidence do you have that Jesus Christ was transgendered? He runs away. Well, folks, I'm with Miles Vasilius. He is with Campaign Life Coalition. They keep a close tab on Catholic affairs. And Miles, a fascinating board meeting, I thought. There were passionate arguments on both sides. There were those saying that if we don't, and I'm speaking of some of the trustees, if we don't raise this pride flag, then those who bully members of the LGBT community will only feel further emboldened. That was countered with other arguments, whereas the position was, well, we do have symbols of inclusion. That would be the Canadian flag and the cross. Your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly that. The Canadian flag and the cross represents exactly what students need, which is acceptance and safety. I don't understand what more you would expect of living in a free country like Canada, a safe country like Canada. If you want to know what it's like to not feel safe and be discriminated against and bullied and hated, go to third world countries where those behaviors are tolerated and actually promoted. In Canada, we don't accept that.
So, folks, on the final analysis, what did we see almost happen here at the York Catholic District School Board? I think it was an attempt, once again, of what I call tyranny by the minority. We had a very vocal turnout by, well, let's face it, it is the fringe. It is not the majority of Catholic parents who have their who have their children going to York Catholic District schools. And I think also with those trustees, those Catholic trustees that were so impassioned in having the pride flag eclipse the Canadian flag and even the cross, I think that speaks to those individuals that are joining school boards, and they're there for the wrong reason. They're not there for the kids. They're not there for the parents. They're there for political ambitions. They have leftist ideology. They are really Marxists. And this is yet again another attempt, I think, by those in the Marxist sphere to break down society and rebuild it with that Marxist utopia that, of course, never happens. But in any event, if you're one of those individuals who supports the idea of a Canadian flag flying in the month of June as opposed to a rainbow flag, if you're a supporter of Catholic doctrine, this was a victory for you tonight. We'll take them when we can get them, right? For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, you count on Rebel News to bring you the other side of the story, but we need your help. Please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you can, kindly make a donation so we can continue to bring you that other side of the story.